Today I'm going to answer your questions, and I'm going to start with three very similar questions that I received from three people, and I'm going to answer them together. Angela Fernandez from Spain asked, how can you travel for so long? How do you make money to afford traveling? Luis Martin from France asked, what do you do? And Olivia Chimpois from Romania asked, how do you make money while you travel? I've been traveling in Asia for almost 1.5 years now, and I can do this because I can work online. I work with couples all over the world, and I help them to improve their relationship. I specialize in working with entrepreneurs as a relationship coach because most of them realize that they have better results in their businesses if they have a nice relationship with their romantic partner. As long as I have a computer with internet, I can do my work online because I use video calls with my clients on platforms such as Zoom or Skype. I also manage online a small business I have in Romania, which provides English courses for companies. So I can do my both businesses online. And people who usually work online call themselves digital nomads. They can be entrepreneurs or freelancers. Freelancers are the people who work for others. And for those people, usually there are a lot of websites with many jobs they can do to earn money and travel in the same time. So I'm going to invite you to think about this question: how can I transfer my actual job in an online job? Olivia from Romania also asks, how much time per day do you work and how do you spend the time between work and free time? This is something that changes over time. When you have this kind of lifestyle, you have to be open to test different ways to see which one works for you to be productive. Right now I have a normal life like maybe most of you have. 3 days per week I have video calls with my clients, and 2 days per week I manage my businesses and I educate myself. During these 2 days, usually I take some short breaks and I go to walk on the beach or to visit something that is near the house. On a Wednesday, I like to have me time. This means that I like to do things by myself. I usually go to visit other places I haven't seen yet, or to educate myself and so on. And on Sunday, it's time to travel with my boyfriend. Like I said, this can change from week to week and from person to person. So it really depends on what kind of work you do and so on. For example, sometimes I work 6 hours, sometimes I can work 10 hours. It depends how busy I am during that time. Olivia also asked, how did you become a relationship coach? Can you do this online? Olivia, this is a very long answer, but I'm going to share some details to get an idea about this process. When I arrived in Asia, I took many courses because I really wanted to improve my life. And after these courses, and of course using what I've learned in my life, I've seen a lot of very good results. So step by step, I started speaking with my friends, and I also saw that they had good results. And step by step, I said, but maybe can I help other people too? So then I took more courses, more trainings, and this led me to be a coach. This is a very long process. I still have a lot of things to learn. There are some coaches that get only online training, and this is okay. For example, I want to learn a new method to use with my coaching clients, and this is only taught in North America. And I have two options. I can learn it online, or I can go there. But if I go there, I have to live there for some months or even some years. Secondly, it will cost me more because I have to buy a ticket for transportation, I have to get new accommodation and so on, besides the cost of the course that is pretty expensive, like $10,000. So, for example, in this case, I'm going to take it online, not offline. But besides this, I would suggest that you could also do some offline trainings, because you also need face-to-face interactions with your teachers, but also with some possible clients. Another question from Andrea Baudic from Romania. She says, for me it's like this. I think we all feel like this lifestyle is amazing. So tell us about the challenges experienced so far. What's the hardest? One is that you lose a lot of time with researching the place you are going to move. For example, in our case, I do this work. I have to research about where we will live, if we have good internet, where should we live in that city, like in which area, and where we should eat, and so on. So this takes time, and for me researching is boring. So I don't like this part. But for example, the good news is that if you like to research, you can do this even for work. You can do this to earn money for people as me, that I don't like to research. So this is a bad thing for me, but maybe a very good thing for you. Another challenge for us is that we usually move pretty often, and the first days, usually 2 to 5 days, we need to find a house and to settle down. And of course, those days we cannot work, or if we work, we cannot focus very much as we used to. This also happens because at the beginning, your head is like, oh my God, look at this new place, I have to discover this, I have to discover that, and so on, and you cannot focus. But you can also learn new ways on how to be able to focus again very quickly. For example, in my situation, I realized that after 3 days I arrive in that place, I have to schedule the first session with one client because it helps me feel grounded. And this is really something that brings me back to focus. Also, another challenge in Asia is that the internet is not as good as in Europe. So sometimes it's difficult to find a house with very good internet for video calls. Of course, if you do something else that you don't need a high-speed internet, you can find everywhere. And I would say that this is something that you can manage. I mean, I lived here for already 1.5 years, and yes, I had some challenges with the internet, but I could do my work in the end. Okay, so you can do this, you can manage this. Another question I received is from Alina Alexandrov from Romania, and she asks, how do you manage to give up comfort? Like to have a house, or to do those things a woman usually does? Buying cosmetics from a specific brand, or going to a specific beauty salon? Whoa, this is a very good question, because a lot of people are afraid of this, and I was too. But many years ago, I started learning on how to have a minimalist life and how to get rid of the things that don't really bring me joy. And before we left Romania, we sold and donated everything we had, and we left Romania only with a backpack for me, a backpack for him. And at first it was weird, but step by step we realized that in fact there is nothing we cannot buy in other countries from what we find in Romania. And sometimes we joke that maybe we cannot buy mamaligă. Mamaligă is a Romanian side dish that we use it sometimes in the villages to eat instead of bread. But it was funny because at some point in Bali we found mamaligă, so you can find everything. So having new experiences, new places where you have to go to try to see if it works for you. It's true. It takes energy, it takes time, but in the end, at least we don't have any problem. So, for example, trying a new beauty salon or a new house and so on. Like step by step, we learned how to be more flexible maybe than we were before. Yes, I did have a small problem in Asia with nails. They are not good at doing manicure. No. Very, very, very few places they really do very good manicure like we do in Europe. I'm not sure in America or in Australia, but in Europe we have very good people who have this job, and thank you for your job. So the only thing I cannot wait to try in Romania is to go to my beauty salon to do my manicure. That's it. But besides this, like to live in a new house and so on, that wasn't the problem, because in fact we could experience to live in houses that we never thought we could do if we are not rich, you know. We always thought that if we will have a house with a pool, we will have it when we are going to be rich. But for example, in Bali, this is possible. And you can have this with $500, or, you know, it depends how luxury you want to be. Besides this, all of the other things that you can think that you cannot find in Asia is not really true. You can find solutions. They have many Western places, and also they have traditional places. So it really depends how open you are to experience new things. I try to be open to go to some local beauty salons, and it was okay, some of them not. So it's really something that it's, you know, something that you have to try and to decide what works for you and what not. But I will say that in Asia it's a very big community with digital nomads, and for example we have some Facebook groups that you can, for example, when you arrive in a country, you just ask, hey, what's the best waxing salon in Canggu? And they will have many people who will answer this, and of course you can test them. Another question comes from Nora Boller from Norway, and she asks, how is it to travel and live in Asia? Traveling and living in Asia is really, really easy. Asian people are very friendly. Most of them speak English, and even with those who don't speak English, you can use Google Translate, or you can use your nonverbal like eat and so on. Sometimes it's not it's not as we use our nonverbal, but it's funny because you can, at the end, you can find a solution to understand what they say, and they will understand what you say. So it's really beautiful to live and to travel in Asia, because honestly, for example, before I left Romania, I knew about, for example, Vietnam, that they are a poor country, that of course they were in the war many years, and I had that image that, oh yes, but these people, maybe they're not as friendly. I knew that they eat dog and this kind of difference, you know. So when I heard a friend that said, hey, go there and go to Da Nang. Da Nang is a central city in Vietnam. When I arrived there, I couldn't believe my eyes. I said, no, this is not true. So Da Nang was maybe more beautiful than Bucharest, or not maybe, it is. Why? It's because they have beach, they have mountains, they have river, they have skyscrapers. The city is clean. Most of them understand English, and some of them speak English. And this is a very, very nice city to live and to travel to. And next to Da Nang is another beautiful city called, let me think, Hoi An, I think. Yes, Hoi An. It's very, very beautiful. You should go there. Yeah. So, for example, before I left Romania, I was afraid of going there, because I said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't go there. But when I went there, when I made those beautiful friendships with Vietnamese people, and when I experienced those local traditions and so on, I realized that like like all of us, we are people. Doesn't matter the culture, doesn't matter their decisions, doesn't matter their language and so on. We are all people. So traveling in Asia kind of helped me to delete some labels, like cultural labels. And I'm ashamed that I still have some labels towards some cultures, but unfortunately I was programmed by movies, by TV, that some people are like this, some people are like that, and so on. And we kind of go in life with those things in mind. But traveling in Asia helped me to delete some those details and to really see how they are in their real life, and of course to make new friends and experience new culture and to get some good things about that culture that I want to use in my life. The last question comes from Olivia Cimpues from Romania, and she asks, what do you recommend to a person who wants to do the same as you? Somebody who has zero experience. I would say, think about how do you transfer your actual job into an online job. This is very important because you would want to have someone that will help you travel more and more. Secondly, I would say that maybe take a notebook and write down what kind of life would you want to have, for example, in 1 year, 2 years, and so on, and see if this lifestyle fits the image you want to have about your life. Something else you can do is start searching about the steps you have to take to make this change in your life. If you have a friend, go and ask him or her any question you have, or if not, just join a course on how to be a digital nomad. I hope my answers will help you in your journey, and let me know if you have any other questions that I could help you. See you next time!